Good morning, welcome back to the channel. We're here today at the National Trust site at Flatford, the centre really for the inspiration for the constable paintings, and it's a beautiful day again and the sun is shining gloriously through the trees. So we're hoping to get some good photographs and some good things to show you today on another day in Suffolk, the county that just keeps giving. Well, we're just walking down the river on the way from Flatford Mill. It's a circular route really that takes us out via a place called Dedham, which is not somewhere we've been before. We may not be pronouncing that locally correct, but we're trying. We just had an interesting conversation with some locals. We're trying to pronounce Yorkshire names and making as bad a job of it as we are some of the more Suffolk names, but that's quite good really. We love that dialect, that variance of how people pronounce things. It was quite interesting watching a video last night, and we're looking at Haysborough, which to the rest of the world looks like it's called Happysburg, but locals call it Haysborough, and that's the type of pronunciation difficulties you get into when you're in East Anglia if you're not a local. But it's all good learning, so we're enjoying it. This is extremely rural here. There's to the right, to the river, there's some wetlands and lots of wildlife on it, and birds to look at. On the left hand side it's fields and agriculture, but you can just get a sense here of what inspired Constable to paint the scenes that he did here. It's really lovely. I'd recommend it. It's a National Trust property, as we've already mentioned, and at the moment there's no restrictions on car parking. As you know, with some of these premises have still got COVID restrictions on, but you can just turn up and park. If you remember, it's free, obviously. Whoops, there's a step down a hole. Otherwise it's about £5 to park and the rest's free. There is, which I'll try and show you later on, a cafe that's open, in line with current restrictions of course. And some of the buildings are very quaint, and we're going to have a look at some of the buildings shortly. But for the moment we're just enjoying a walk in the countryside, and I'll take some pictures and I'll share them with you, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Well, it's interesting walking down the river here. It seems to be a centre for people paddleboarding, and that looks tremendous fun. I've never actually done that. I must try it. It looks amazing. I've done quite a few things in my life, but one of paddleboarding is not one of it. Not one of them, should I say. But it's quite interesting. It's a cold day. We've lost the sun. This morning was brilliant sunlight, and it's overcast a little bit now. But nevertheless, I think it's these guys seem to be really enjoying themselves. They seem to be kitted out properly and wetsuits, etc. So they seem all right. Poppy's enjoying it, apart from the fact that it's target-rich environment for her. What is it with dogs and cow poo? They just love it, don't they? So we're just having to keep her on a lead at the moment. Otherwise, she'd not only be eating it, but probably be wearing it. So it's Helen's got her work cut out to try to deal with that. But yeah, it's quite a good place. This, we're really enjoying it. We're about a mile from Dedham on the walk, so at that point I think we more or less turn around and come back on another loop, but and then we'll go and have a look at some of the buildings.
Yeah, saw that over there, yeah. Yeah.
So we're actually arrived in the village of Dedham. We're at the village pond, I think, which is this really scenic, constable-esque place with reeds, marshes, wildlife, rowing boats that haven't moved for a while, oars against trees. It's that really sort of lazy, constable type style that you get used to, I think, when you see his work. This is a lovely place, and it seems like a privilege to be here. Certainly quite inspirational, and you can sort of feel it, really. It's pretty good. We'll push on into the middle of Dedham and see what it's like in there, but we're hoping to get to the riverhead. Some of the paths that we tried to walk with initially were closed for work and renovation, but we found a way around thanks to the good old Ordnance Survey app on the phone, which is one of the few things in life I would definitely not do without. So it's working well so far, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello. I bet if this gets deep here, you'd be stuck in your house, wouldn't you?
Yeah, possibly, would it?
We've made the dead centre of Dedham now, centred of course on this fantastic church, as indeed most older villages were. The buildings and the shops have all got Tudor faces to them, and show signs of the years that have passed. Not in a shabby way, just in a visual way. There's been some movement of the structures and parts of it leaning to one side, etc. I'll show you in some of the pictures I've taken, that all show character, history, and the very finest of English history for this region. It's been a very, very rewarding walk this morning. I hope you've enjoyed it with us. We're going to head off back now along the river and make our way back towards Flatford, where I've been promised a piece of cake and a cup of tea, which will be very, very gratefully received. So we've just walked back from Dedham towards Flatford Mill, and we just passed Flatford Lock behind me, which I'm not sure whether that's still functional or not, but it looks very authentic. And if I span around behind me, you will see Flatford Mill coming into view. I've got some more footage of this to show you in a minute, but it's quite an impressive feature, and looks to be something that's really worth examining close up. So we'll have a walk over there in a minute and check out how it is. But yeah, so we're back in Flatford now, and we've got some cake promised soon. Still waiting for that to materialise, but I'm sure it will. So behind me is Willie Lott's house. I think Willie Lott was basically a farmer of his time, but the house behind me featured in Constable's Hay Wain, which I don't know about you, but I think every working class family in the north of England at one time had a picture of or a print of Hay Wain above their fireplace. It seemed to be that, or the three ducks that were flying. That was a feature of my childhood, certainly. So everybody knew about Hay Wain because of that. It was just something that all the parents, certainly the north of England, seemed to possess. So memories from childhood and all that. But this is a wonderful place. Can I say, it's just part of Suffolk's history. It's part of English history, and it's well worth a visit. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like the video, subscribe if you can. It helps us develop the channel and give us an indication of whether we're doing the right things or not. And we appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for doing life with us. We'll see you in the next one.